Welcome to this platform. So in this video we are going to look at that is the life cycle of mosquito and housefly. So this is found on growth and development, specifically growth and development in animals. So now to look at the topic or to look at the parts, we are going to answer exam questions. And here is the first question that we are answering, and this one is coming from that is on life cycle, that is of a mosquito. So now, before we even answer this question, let me just explain a bit of a thing here. We might find some of the things are not in the question, so let me just explain something so that in the case where you meet a question, even if it's phrased in different way, you'll be able to understand a thing or you'll be able to answer. So now, a life cycle of a mosquito, what about it? So you should know that mosquito undergo complete metamorphosis, what we call complete metamorphosis. So now what this means is that at all stages we have different forms. Okay, so we are looking at this one at different stages of a life cycle have different, this mosquito at different stages of life cycle have different body forms from each other, and of course different behavioral and nutritional requirement. That is what it means, complete metamorphosis. So from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4, at all stages they have different morphologies or body forms, and of course nutritional requirement and how they behave in terms of movement and all nutritional requirement. That is something that you should know. Now the first stage, as you can see, it is this one. And of course, you can see eggs in water. So what happens is that the adult mosquito lay eggs in water. So stage 1 and all the way to stage 2 occur in water. To be specific, stagnant water or standing water. Okay, so let me write standing water or stagnant water. So this occurs in standing water or stagnant water. Stagnant water is the one that is not moving. Okay, so that is where normally a mosquito breeds. Okay, so in the first stage, what happened? So the mosquito lay eggs in water, and after some time, the egg hatch to what we call larva or larvae, plural. So this is the larva in water. Okay, this is the larva in water, and of course, the larva after some time, it changes to a pupa, which is still occurs in water. Now, what happened at the larval stage or at larvae or in here at this stage? What happened? So the way they behave, this one, since we say they have different morphological morphologies and of course the behavior. So larvae, the way they behave is that, or their behavior is that they are able to move. They are able to move, and of course they feed on phytoplankton or simple or smallest organisms in water, called phytoplankton or zooplankton. So that is what they feed on. So this stage is also, you can also look at it, there's feeding occurring. So very important to understand. You might find a question, maybe which stage, which one is the feeding stage, or which stage in which there's feeding occurring. Then when it goes to pupa stage, that is after larval stage, it goes to pupa stage, which is stage 3. So under this one, you're going to find that this one is less active. Okay, less active in terms of less active compared to the larval stage. So this one is less active, and most of the cases there's much undergoing, or it is undergoing constantly changes internally, or we can say constantly undergoing internal changes at this level. So there's much changes occurring inside, and therefore it is less active. Now, even as I explained here, you need to understand, or you need to get the point, so that even as the question follows, you're going to answer them correctly. Then afterward, after some time here, from the less active stage, which is the pupal stage, it goes to adult. It develops into adult. Okay, which is stage 4. So that is basically what happened in summary. Now, what are the questions that we have here? One of the questions that we have, which is A here, is that identify 2 stages in figure 3.0, which are most suitable for eradicating malaria. So eradicating malaria, to eradicate is to get rid of. Okay, so which two stages are most suitable for eradicating malaria? Now look at this one, most suitable. That is the keyword here, most suitable. Now let me just acknowledge also that I'm not the first one to answer this question. You're going to find a lot of answers out there, but of course I will try and explain my answers well so that you understand. So most suitable for eradicating malaria, and this is the 2 marks. So which stages? So for me, I'll go for stage 1. So stage 1 and what? And stage 3. Okay, stage 1 and stage 3. Okay, so now the other question is that for each stage identified in above, state how malaria can be what? Eradicated. So I said stage 1 and stage 2. How can malaria be eradicated in these stages? So how can it be eradicated? So one thing that you should understand, let us start with stage 1. So for me, stage 1, look at it. These are eggs in water, and of course eggs do not move. Okay, do not move, and of course here we said is less active. So I've chosen the points that are less active in terms of mobility. So now, how can you eradicate malaria at stage 1? So since this one is found in stagnant water, so draining away of standing water or stagnant water will eliminate the eggs. Okay, so I'll say draining stagnant water. Okay, draining stagnant water, and this one helps to eliminate what? The eggs. So draining of stage 1, draining of stagnant water. Then what about stage 3, the other stage that we've chosen, stage 3? How do you eliminate or how do you eradicate malaria at stage 3? So for stage 3, we can look at spraying insecticides or larvicide in stagnant water. Spraying insecticide in what? In water. Spraying insecticide in water helps to kill this stage. Okay, so it helps to kill the pupas, and of course help eliminating or eradicating malaria. What we do not want, why I have not chosen stage 4, because stage 4 is already an adult mosquito, so their transmission has already started occurring. So it's very challenging for you to eradicate malaria at this stage. Although it might be the stage, although this stage you can eradicate malaria, but not as effective or not most suitable compared to 1 and 3. Of course, even 2 is the most suitable one, because here if you can eliminate at 1 and 2, whatever you're going to do with 1 and 2 equally can apply to the 2 stage here, or 1 and 3. Like spraying of insecticide, it also kills this stage. Okay, so that's why I said 1 and 2. So, and that is how you do it. So draining stagnant water. Then stage 3, we are saying spraying insecticide in water. Aside from spraying insecticide, just general here, aside from spraying insecticide, let me just put this one on stage 3. Aside from spraying insecticide, you can look at spraying oil in what? In water. Now, you know that oil floats on water, so it will form a layer on top there. And of course, there will be no diffusion of oxygen into water, and that will cause the stages here. It will cause suffocation to these stages, and as a result, they will be, as a result, they will not survive. It will kill the larval stage and of course the pupal stage here. So spraying oil in water can also be another way to eradicate malaria. So 3 explanations that you can give here. That is on stage 1. Why is it the most suitable? So you can say draining of stagnant water. Then of course stage 3 is spraying insecticide or larvicide in water, or this kills the stage that it eliminates the stage that you've picked here, or spraying oil in water, which reduce or stops the diffusion of oxygen, or prevents the diffusion of oxygen into the water, and hence it kills these stages. So if you are going to choose 2, this explanation on 3 applies here. So that is the reason why I said this and that. Okay, and this stage, there's no, the eggs are just stagnant there, and of course this one, there's less movement here. So that's why I'm saying 3, 1 and 3. Okay, what is the other question? What is the other question? Suggest 2 ways in which malaria can be controlled in the community. So in the community, how can malaria be controlled? So 1, encouraging or educating people, or community members to sleep under a treated mosquito net. Okay, encouraging community members to sleep under treated mosquito net. Okay, so that is one way. Then what is the other way that you can look at? What is the other way? So mosquitoes, you know that the breeding places for mosquitoes are tall grasses and all that. Okay, stagnant water. So you can also say encourage community members or people in the community members to clear tall grasses. Okay, to clear tall grasses around their environment or their houses. So that is another way you can eliminate, or malaria can be controlled in the community. Then what is the other question here? The other question is that what term is given to mosquito base? What term is given to the mosquito base on its role in transmission of what? Transmission of malaria. What name is given to the mosquito? So it is called biological vector. Okay, biological vector. A vector is just an organism that transmits a disease-causing agent, a living organism. In this case, since we are saying it's a biological vector, so a biological vector, we can just look at a living organism that transmits a disease-causing microorganism or pathogen. So now this brings us to this other question: what is the pathogen? So a pathogen is a disease-causing microorganism. Okay, it's a disease-causing microorganism. That is a pathogen, or we can say it's a disease-causing organism. Okay, but in this case we are looking at malaria, so we are saying a disease-causing microorganism. Then now name the malaria pathogen. Name the malaria-causing pathogen. It's called Plasmodium falciparum. Plasmodium falciparum is the plasmodia that cause, it's the pathogen that cause malaria. Okay, so this question is coming from the life cycle of a housefly, or we are looking at the life cycle of a housefly. In the first one, we looked at the life cycle of a mosquito, and of course, we've answered that question clearly. And I hope you are following up to this point. Now, let us look at this question. So, figure 3.1 it shows the life cycle of a housefly, as you can see. Now, a life cycle of a housefly, it takes place, housefly also undergo what you call complete metamorphosis, which means at all stages you expect different forms and of course morphologies. Okay, and of course the way they behave in terms of movement and of course the feeding. Okay, so in the first place here we have the adult housefly, and of course it lays eggs normally in the rotting materials. So you need to take note, in the rotting materials, that is where the eggs are laid. And of course the eggs that are laid after some time, they hatch into what you call the larva or the maggot. Okay, so now the maggot continue increasing in size. So we have stages. So the first one is called the first larval stage, and of course we have this one, which is the second larval stage. And as you can see, the size of the larva continue increasing, and of course there's molting that is occurring. There's a shading of the body, I mean the exoskeleton, and of course the increase in size here. Okay, so this is the second larval stage, and as you can see, it continue increasing, and this is the third larval stage. Okay, so this is something that you have to know. Now, what are the questions that we have here? The question is identify the stages. That is the first question. Identify the stages labeled G and H. So we've already identified them, because in this case I've already given the stages. Okay, so I've already given the stages here. G, of which G is equals to what? Or G, we are looking at eggs. So G, we are looking at eggs there. Okay, so egg stage there, we can say. So eggs. Then what about H? H is a second larva stage. Second larva stage. Okay, so let me just remove this. So second larva stage, then we have the third one. Then the second question, that is 2 of A, is that explain the changes taking place during stage I. Okay, during the third larval stage. So now you know that larva is able to move, and of course feeding is sucking the nutrients from the rotting materials. That is how it feeds. But as it continues undergoing the changes in these stages, its ability to move and of course to absorb nutrient reduces. So we are talking of the stage I. So what is happening, and also the size increases, take note of that. So in this, or in answering this question, as you can see, is 3 marks. So what are the changes that are occurring in I? So we can say there's an increase in size, or yes, there's an increase in size, or it is increasing greatly in size. So we can say it is increasing, that is, the larva is increasing greatly in what? In size. That is one change that is taking place. Then of course reducing in what? Movement. Reducing in movement. So it reduces in movement, or it becomes stationary. Okay, so also you can talk of reducing in what? In feeding. So there's reducing in feeding. As you know, it feeds by sucking nutrients from the rotting material. So that is what basically happened. This part, it is preparing now to become the pupa. You know that the pupa stage is completely inactive here. Okay, it's not moving, or it doesn't move. So that is what is basically happening here. So the changes, as you can see from here, there's an increase in size. And of course here, if you were to describe what is happening here, or to look at, explain what is happening here, is that there's increase, or the larva is greatly increasing in size, reducing the feeding, or reducing on feeding, that is sucking of the nutrients from the rotting material. And also we can talk of that is reducing in movement, becomes stationary, okay, as it prepares to become the pupa there. Okay, so that is what we can explain here. So let us answer now B1, that is question B1. Which stage in figure 3.1 would be the most effective for eradicating houseflies? So for getting rid of houseflies, which stage would be the most effective? So now, the most effective stage, in this case, we can go for the pupa stage. Okay, so I'll put the pupae stage. Why am I saying the pupa stage? Because it is inactive and does not move. Okay, so it is therefore easy to eliminate by spraying with insecticide. So because it is inactive, okay, inactive stage, making it easy to eradicate by spraying insecticides. Okay, and of course the other thing is that at this stage this one is not able to, this stage is not able to reproduce. So you eliminating this part, it means that you are reducing even the number of adult houseflies that are already in existence. Okay, so you eliminating this one, as you are reducing the number of houseflies, which means you are also reducing the flies or the diseases that the fly might spread, such as cholera. Okay, so cholera is one of the disease that is spread by flies, and of course the bacteria that cause cholera is called Vibrio cholerae. In the case you are asked this question, so it's called Vibrio cholerae. Let me just write it nicely. Cholerae, something like this. So Vibrio cholerae is the virus that cause the bacteria, that cause cholera. So that is basically what happened. Then now the other question that we can answer here, using the named example, describe the role of a housefly in transmission, okay, in disease transmission. What is the role of the housefly? Using the named or using a named example, describe the role of housefly in transmission of disease or disease transmission. So you can see housefly are vectors for pathogens. Okay, so housefly are vectors for pathogens that cause cholera, dysentery, and typhoid. That is something that you should know. Okay, so that is how you answer this question. Okay, so this one brings us to the end, and of course let us meet in the next one.